Borderlands 3 is going to have years and years of content ahead of it. We already know this. There are a ton of things in the game to do. We know DLCs are on their way, new loadouts, and everything in between. Everything in Borderlands 3 has one single common denominator, and that is loot. Everything you're doing in this game, whether it be trials within 5 minutes to test yourself, all the way to slaughterhouses, to making multiple characters maxed out so you can try different builds, all comes down to the same thing. And that one thing is loot. Borderlands 3 is the epitome of a looter shooter. You're playing this game to get new and unique, powerful gear. Now, I've put plenty of time in Borderlands 3, but one thing always escaped my grasp. And I've just happened upon it. I finally have it, the Diluvian Firestorm, the rarest grenade in the game. Let's get into it. On the quest for the Diluvian Firestorm, we have come across, I believe, every single version of a Firestorm grenade, starting with something as simple as a Singularity Firestorm. If you throw it, you will see it drops a Singularity in the air and drops 4 fireballs, doing a decent amount of damage, but nothing too crazy. Another one you might have come across is the Rain Firestorm. This is very similar to the Diluvian, however, the blast radius of the meteors that do drop do seem to be a little bit smaller, but it does do a serious amount of damage. Next up, you might have found yourself a large Firestorm. This one, in my opinion, hits the hardest. Fastest is lobbed, which is very, very nice. Has the largest exploding radius, very similar to the Diluvian, as you'll see in a second, and does a decent amount of damage, especially to red bars. But once you find this, the Diluvian Firestorm, with a damage of 1833, a radius of 358, it is a longbow, which is an issue. A Firestorm, Rain, and I guess last one is large. 4,090 damage with a 56% chance to be caught on fire. This one is anointed with an action skill start, regenerate 1 grenade plus 20% explosion radius, and launches up and fires 3 grenades down around it. That is what we're working with here. One thing we are going to take a look at is the Rain Firestorm grenade as well. We're going to try to see if there is a noticeable difference here. The damage is higher, but the radius is smaller. It does not have the plus 20% explosion radius, and it is a non-anointed one. But does the base damage make up for the smaller radius? We'll find out at the final boss. From what I've heard, it is a 0.001% chance to drop, and it definitely does not need to be. Although this is the grenade I've been on a quest for since I've started the game, since I saw it on Reddit, I honestly don't think it's really worth the grind. As you can see, it is a grenade that spawns a couple of other grenades. If you can see the other longbows popping out, there's 3 of them, and causing those meteors to drop everywhere. It sounds like the radius and explosions are larger than the regular Rain Firestorm. And honestly, it does very, very good damage. Kind of incredible damage. I've seen it one-shot a badass enemy on Mayhem 3 with just average modifiers. It does do work. Sadly, it is not the best grenade for Moze or Flak. It just doesn't fit well with their kits. It does not synergize in the way that other kinds of grenades do. Modifiers we are using on this mission are plus 70% elemental damage, and we're going to compare both of those grenades. So something worthwhile, but probably we could find better modifiers. Like I said, my idea for this grenade is most likely it's going to do well in large areas like trials, and you're going to have to change your playstyle a little bit, because just goofing off around with this grenade, I have accidentally killed myself many, many times. This right here is the Diluvian, and It's a different playstyle than you're used to with the cloning hex grenades that you may be used to on Moze. The damage is not bad at all, as you can see, but it's just different. It's hard to explain, especially since I've been looking for this grenade for so long. It's hard for me to even admit that it may not be as good as I really want it to be. Originally, when I recorded this, I had my own kind of build that I had. It wasn't the exact cookie cutter Moze infinite grenade build, but it was something similar. I just went back and I respec'd into a different kind of grenade build, the more cookie cutter-esque build. And I am finding that with favorable modifiers such as the ones we have here, mainly just the extra grenade damage, the grenade actually shines a lot more than I thought it was going to. The damage, like I keep saying, is very, very strong. The issue is that it doesn't really work well with any kit that I'm aware of. Not that I am a complete pro in this game, but I have 2 characters at max level. None of those characters are a Zane, where I'm thinking this grenade might do well. If you choose to use this grenade for mass AoE clearing, as you can tell, you're gonna have to change your Moze playstyle a bit. It doesn't work as well as the Merv Hex grenades like previously stated. It does do a lot of damage and a lot of crowd control and a lot of AoE, and it is a good grenade. However, you need favorable modifiers to really make it work, and you're gonna have to stick back and basically be a grenade bot. Even though if you're playing Moze, you most likely already are some sort of grenade bot. This way is a little different because the healing mechanic just doesn't work the same as it does on a Merv grenade. Right now, I have the Rain Firestorm equipped and not the Diluvian. So I just want to do 6 grenades and then switch and see if we can tell a noticeable difference in the damage. I'm not going to start throwing right here because I know for a fact that he charges as soon as he starts it up. I'm just waiting for that to happen. Here it comes. There's the charge. And now we're going to see. So 6 grenades onto him. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 grenades on to the Tyrant of Instinct. And then once it starts going down, we did almost a quarter bar of his health. We're going to check out the Diluvian now. Let me just switch to it real fast. 6 grenades. Let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they seem to be doing similar, if not less damage for the Diluvian, which is a sad thing considering how rare this grenade actually is. Also, it looks like the explosion radius on the Diluvian is larger, but in Moze terms, that's actually a bad thing because the area in between each explosion seems to be a lot bigger, allowing for more missed shots. So your shield's not regenerating with Bloodletter, and your ammo's not regenerating as fast either. Again, the damage isn't bad by any means, and the fact that it kills anything around the target is fantastic. But for the rarity that this thing actually is, you would expect maybe, just maybe, a little more damage. Let's see if we can finish this thing up. There you go, guys. That's it. The Diluvian Firestorm grenade. It's not as good as I was hoping for. There is a slightly better version that does spawn some more grenades within itself, but considering how rare this one is, 4 people grinding for a month and only 1 has ever been found between me and 3 of my friends, I'm not going to continue the grind to look for the better version than this. Lastly, again, my build is just a cookie cutter Moze build. There is probably something you can do with an elemental fire damage weapon with a COV assault rifle that constantly lights you on fire, and you could probably get some more damage out of it that way. However, how dangerous this grenade is compared to the other ones doesn't really seem worth it to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please think about subscribing. You can hit the like button, anything like that. It really helps out the channel. If you guys like streams, I stream 5 days a week over at twitch.tv/rounded TikTak. We would love to have you stop by, say what's up, come join the pack, join the family. And lastly, if you're buying anything on the Epic Games Store or whatever game you might be playing, you can always use creator code OOTikTak00. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one. TikTak out.